Hi, Lisa Ricosis, founder of Global One Health, Global One Fitness. In this video, I want to talk about the hollow body hold. It is one of the most basic foundational positions that is used in many exercises in the Pilates mat and machine repertoire, and it is vastly used in calisthenics. So if you are into that style of training, or you are following a lot of people that do some of the amazing calisthenic exercise positions on the bars, that you'll see, it is truly a fantastic exercise position that will build strength and strength endurance when done properly, and you can really do many exercises as a development from this position. So I highly recommend practicing it, getting good at it, and we're going to talk about the details and the foundational aspects of the hollow body hold now. So just as I mentioned, it's a full body contraction isometric exercise. So isometric means the muscles are contracted, but they're not changing length, right? So example, bicep curl, right? I'm shortening my bicep, I'm lengthening my bicep, but if I just hold the position, but squeeze as hard as I can, that's an isometric contraction in my biceps, right? They're engaged, but they're not moving or changing length. So it's just as the name says, hollow body hold, you're holding an isometric contraction throughout the whole body structure is the key. And hollow body hold, because you're referencing the position that your body should be maintaining the entire time, from the back top of the head and spine all the way down to the ends of your feet. So what does it look like? We'll show you that first, then we'll talk about what is involved in achieving it. So hollow body hold, again, just as the name says, I am in a curved position, a hollow body scooped position from head to toe. Now I can have my feet pointed, reaching the energy out through the 10 toes. I can also have my ankles dorsiflexed to really drive the energy out through the heels and pulling the toes back. That's a minor detail variation based upon what you're doing, what you want to focus on your lower legs and your ankle and foot structures. But the body position is what's most important to think about. So while it is a fantastic core activation drill, just keeping my arm down or out of the way so you can see, the most important thing is I maintain hollow body, right? So if I'm holding the position and I start to arch my back, right, and my back comes off the floor, I've defeated the whole purpose of what hollow body hold is designed to achieve. Maintain the hollow body position as long as you can, maintaining the actual form and technique of the position. So if you cannot maintain the position, full contraction throughout, I'll show you some regressions in a moment, but the purpose is full contraction of the core structure. That's your pelvic floor, your abdominal wall. You also want, of course, the legs will be working, right? The glutes, right? You don't want the legs to drop down if that means the back is going to arch. So you want to maintain that full contraction throughout. A great supporter of the position of this hollow body hold is to be able to get recruitment of your posterior side of your body, your hamstrings and your glutes. So I have a kettlebell here on the floor. If you're doing this, if you have access, if you happen to be in a Pilates studio with a reformer, of course you can use the foot bar, adjust the height of the foot bar accordingly. But if you're at home, or even if you're in a mat class, if you can't maintain the position but you're almost there, you can use a foam roller or a bell, right? Or a little tiny bench, even a few towels stacked up, right? You can get creative at home. But if you're using, right, or placing the back of the lower leg, ankle area, or even the back of your heel into this prop, I could even use my own leg, but that's a little bit more difficult to achieve, the feeling, right? So I'm pushing down into this bell or into whatever prop you're using, right? The pushing down energy into the prop will get more activation of the abdominal wall and the core structure, but it will also give you resistance so that you can actually get a little bit more engagement of your hamstrings and glutes. Because you want, again, it's a full body activation, right? Full body contraction. So you want tension everywhere. Pelvic floor, abs, right? Glutes, hamstrings, hip flexors, quads, all of it, right? Of course, the calves are engaged, the stomach, right? I'm in this straight arm position. I want to think I'm like almost pressing down, right? Keeping tension through the arms, the triceps, and so forth. So if you cannot maintain the full hollow body position and you want to have regressions to kind of, where do I start? If we start from the most basic modification or regression, right? I can have my legs bent. Now legs bent is going to change how your hammies are working, but I can also have my legs straight on the floor, but not resting. You want to contract the musculature of your quads, your glutes, and your hamstrings. If your legs are straight on the floor, push your legs and feet into the ground actively. The harder you push, the more you will work, the more activation you will create throughout your whole body structure, right? So drive your feet and legs into the ground to create that tension. Then the goal is, okay, if I can keep that tension in this position or in this position, right, now I can then start to, okay, I feel leg recruitment. Is that going to help my core? Yes. Now I can lift up my head and shoulders. It should just be I'm going to lift up my head randomly and my core does nothing, or my core pops out, right? The goal is to pull the stomach muscles in so that I can lift up my head and shoulders. And in the beginning, keep your arms straight and your hands pushing into the ground, because that'll create, again, anytime you have the ground as a source of resistance, I will be talking about this and referencing this point regularly. The ground is a brilliant source of resistance. Use it. So if you push your hands into the ground, you're going to start to be aware of what the activation feels like in the backs of your arms. Then when you take your arms off, your goal is to keep that tension, right? You're training your body, right? And you're using the floor as a stimulus in the more regressed, modified variations. That's how you progress to get better and get stronger, not try to go to the end position and your body is just not strong enough to maintain the position for an extended period of time. Then you're wasting your time and your energy, right? So use the ground, press your hands in, press your feet down, keep tension in the core. Then just, can I lift my head up? Then can I extend my leg up? Lower it down as you build strength. Remember, your gauge of how low should you bring your legs is your ability to maintain full activation of the core and not allow the back, right, to arch up. Once your back comes up, you're not in a hollow body hold, right? So use your hands, use your feet. Then you can take one leg into a chair pose, right? There's your marching exercise, right? You can take it up to the ceiling. You can have both legs in chair pose, right? Still pressing the hands. You can start to raise the arms up, one leg in chair. You have all different variations that you can do with your legs. And then the final variation is that you slowly lower the height of the legs to where you can maintain that hollow body hold position, okay? So that is where we're going for that deep scoop of the core, activation of full body contraction. Again, talking about using the prop to help stimulate activation of the hamstrings and glutes so that your brain understands what that feels like. And then when you take away the prop, right, the end result is that you are trying to get the full activation in your body in a moment's notice on command, right? So that is the full description of hollow body hold, and you're going to see that position utilized in many, many exercises. So get good at it, practice the different modifications and variations to where, again, the goal is to master the position to the best of your ability, and then you progress to challenge yourself, but staying within the parameters of proper form and technique is always, should be, the primary goal and focus. So that's it for hollow body hold.